Alright, so I'm doing this a bit off the cuff, but this is a short art tutorial. I'm by no means a perfect artist, but I will be showing you today how to draw a not V from James Cameron's Avatar. So, as per basically every art tutorial you've ever listened to, and they will drill this into your head, it always starts with a circle. So basically just sketch out a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as this one art book I had read had said, if you need to, darken the lines that fit best with the shape of a circle. So now that you got your shape, you can add guidelines if you so desire, though I would strongly suggest using a reference image. And reference images are, in the namesake, what you use to reference for a drawing. So let me just move my eraser real quick, it's in the way. So now that you've gotten your head shape and reference lines, you want to draw the shape of the head. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just has to represent what you want. And, sorry for not keeping the camera center, just draw where the face comes down, comes into a chin, right? Alright, so, good thing to keep in mind with your drawings is that you always want to keep things proportional. From the point of the chin, right around here is where you get something like that, where I guess, I don't know how to describe it, but think of just below the lower lip where facial hair can usually sit. That's a dark spot. Now, we get the just about maybe lower lip, we could say is right there. And how mouths work is that you don't want to draw them as a whole. It won't look right. So what you want to do is draw like that. Not exactly like that, but here, let me just correct that for you. So it's not perfect, but art, it's not perfect. So you want to draw something like that and then say a little bit of that towards the middle. You have a mouth. Not perfect, doesn't have to be your sketch, it doesn't have to be perfect, but try and officialize what you have in your head. Now that you have that, you can draw it as light as you want, that to try and outline parts of the lips. So let me just fix that right there. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Now, the Na-V, or not V if you want to be ultra specific, they have a cat-like nose. Feline, cat, whatever you want to call it. Terms interchangeable if you want. So, you want to bring it up, cat-like. So, bring it up just like that. And, of course, again, use reference images. Then, you want to, and because the not V have very cat-like noses, or very strange alien noses, draw some lines like this. You want that very flat bridge of a nose, and how their noses kind of taper off is, I don't know if taper is the right word, but they do this. They lead into the eyes. And usually you can make the eyes cat-like, or if you're trying to go for a more human character, draw them as the shape of the eye. For this, I will be doing, let me just make a shape. Okay. So we have a generalized shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be a bit symmetrical. Try and match one eye to the other. Now, drawing the eye, just basically do a circle. Make it curve right into the eye as such. You'll get the eye. If you need to do it multiple times, make sure to use an eraser. I specifically use the General's Tri-Tip, as you can see, well used, but only move your eraser in one direction because you don't want to ruin, I think it's the grain of the paper is what it's called. But now for the pupil, what you want to do, you don't want to fully draw another circle. If you're trying to get a certain light reflection, do something like this. You want to do like a smaller circle, but you are outlining it. So, like that. Not perfect, but you can see it's starting to come together. So, do that again, except on this side. So, there you go. You're starting to get a general idea of what you're supposed to do. Draw eyebrows, which I'll do a rough sketch. Just kind of, get that point across. Just kind of scribble it in. Also, use a 4B pencil. Let's focus. There we go, 4B. Good for texture. You get a very solid drawing. Looks a bit surprised. I'm too. This is just a rough sketch. Still turned out good. Go light, shade in the nose. And what you want to do, because the Na'vi, they have pointed ears, and because we're going off of a front perspective, just draw the ears like such. And how you detail them is dependent on, of course, head direction, perspective. If you want to take in all those details into account, you can. You can either leave your character bald, or you can kind of just do a little scribble here at the top, and then just add another scribble, make it a bit darker for the neural cue, because they also have that, alien wildlife and all that. So, you have the beginnings of a Na'vi. Now, just drawing a bit of neck, kind of V shape for the point. And then, just draw in your lines here at the side. Looks a bit goofy, but there you go. You have your very first drawing of a Na'vi. And of course, details, anything else, that is up to you to figure out. Alright, that'll be it.